This is just going to quickly talk about what I saw from Japan 2-0 against Azerbaijan. I missed the first 35 minutes because I was a bit careless and thought the game started in where I live at about on the hour, I think at about 9ish, but it actually started about 30 minutes before then, so I missed about the first 35 minutes. Anyway, I did see the goal, but I'll get to that in a second. Starting formation for Japan, 4-2-3-1, usual team. Starting with the best, I think, team that Zach could have put on the pitch, with one exception. And keeping in mind that Endo, Yoshida, and Kono were unavailable. So we had Kawashima in goal, Uchida at right back, Nagatomo left back, Kurihara, Kono, Inoha were taken to centre. Hosogai, Hasebe at defensive midfield or volante. Okazaki, Honda, and Kagawa formed the attacking three midfielders, and Morimoto started the game up top. I didn't actually see any of Morimoto's performance because when I started watching, he pretty much subbed out. And he was subbed out for Roichi Maeda, who didn't do a whole lot, in my opinion. Anyway, I did see the first goal. I thought it was a very fine goal. Kagawa, while he was on, looked dangerous. I only saw him until he was subbed off for Miyaichi, but he looked quite good. He was the main threat. Honda was playing very, I think, intelligently. I don't think he was quite at his best, but you could see the intelligence he has in and around the pitch, his awareness. But at halftime, and Hasebe was doing his usual job, and I only saw mainly his effort in the first goal when he pretty much took the ball most of the way up the pitch, and exchanging a 1-2 with Honda before laying off to Kagawa. But at halftime, Hasebe was taking off, and Uchida was taking off for Hideto Takahashi of FC Tokyo and Hiroki Sakai. So those two guys came on. Sakai at right back, Takahashi at central midfield with Hosogai. About the two subs, I thought Sakai was okay. He had his moments. I don't think he did a bad job. However, Takahashi, I thought he just was a little bit out of his depth at this level. He made a lot of stray passes, and I think on the ball, he just seemed a bit defensively he was fine, but to be fair, Azerbaijan weren't all this and that. On the ball, Takahashi looked a little bit out of his depth, and he was missing quite a lot of passes. He might have just been a bit nervous, but yeah. Second half. First thing I noticed, Kurihara there was this one instance on Japan's left side of the pitch. Long ball came by. Kurihara first was beat in the air. The forward he was marking was able to chest it down, and then that forward proceeded to destroy him on the wing with pace and get a shot away. See, now Kurihara is in this team to be the big centre back. Zach seems to like to have a big guy and a shorter guy as centre back at the moment. And Kurihara is supposed to be the big guy, so he really has to win these aerial battles, and he's not doing that. And and that's another thing I was thinking about from the North Korea game. He wasn't doing it then, and he's still not doing it. So I'm just glad that he's not our starting centre back. But that play just made me think he's not really good enough to start. Then the second goal came. Shinji Okazaki, a bit of a mishit, but it went in. Sorry. Went in. Kagawa was still dangerous again, making some smart moves and looking very confident on the ball. It wasn't as good as he's been for Dortmund, but he's playing a different position, so that's going to be taken into account. Soon as because Hasebe wasn't there anymore, the pace of the game really did slow down quite a lot. Even those whatever 5 minutes or so I saw of 10 minutes or so I saw of Hasebe, the game was a lot quicker. Things were moving, but Takahashi wasn't able to have that flow, and Hosogai couldn't move into the role of sort of the enforcer in central midfield, which is a bit of a shame. Hosogai was playing more. He was really a little bit anonymous, I thought. He didn't do he didn't make any glaringly bad job, but nothing amazing. I think he's a guy that needs a bit of confidence for the national team, just because Endo and Hasebe have been there for the last few years or so. Okazaki, I thought he was quite clever. I think he's very good to have on that right hand side, and I don't want to hear anyone going, "Oh, I want Miyaichi on the right hand side," alright? Because no, Okazaki at the moment is the best choice, and even more so than Hiroshi Kiyotake in my opinion. Albeit, on his bad day, he should get subbed. But that brings me to the next point. Actually, Miyaichi came on with about, I think, half an hour left or so for Shinji Kagawa, and I was quite unimpressed. And he probably needs a bit of time, but he was fairly anonymous. Like, the only reason he wasn't completely anonymous was because the commentators went absolutely berserk every time he went near the ball, as did the crowd. And he got one good cross in, but yeah, when you consider that the starting left midfielder is Shinji Kagawa right now, Miyaichi is not quite good enough to take that position yet, and he's not good enough and he's worse on the right side of midfield, if judging from what I've seen him play at Bolton. With Miyaichi, maybe he doesn't have a very good understanding of Zach Jaban's game, because he seemed very hesitant to move inwards or drop into midfield a little bit. He seemed very, very strictly staying on that left-hand side, quite high up the pitch, a bit isolated. So he wasn't really able to contribute to the team as much as I'd hoped, and I think that's frankly the result of playing in Owen Coyle's Bolton Wanderers side, who are frankly a horribly boring team to watch. Miyaichi, I think, not quite ready yet to start, and I think, until he gets a bit more game time and maybe a bit of training under Arsene Wenger at Arsenal, then I think that's going to be the case. So, at that point, after Miyaichi came on, the game really did slow down. It slowed completely down by about 75th minute, and I just got bored then. But I think that's pretty much the end of it. But the last thing I think was a bit concerned was set pieces. I think there were two crosses really, the aerial game, because there are going to be teams that will do that, particularly Australia is one of them that will resort to that kind of game. And teams should not beat Japan because they loop the ball forward when Japan dominate the game. So they have to do better. And Azerbaijan are an average team, and they still have to get a few chances away from the set pieces, I think. So Yoshida's going to have to step up for that, because I don't think Kono's particularly good at the aerial ball either. Late in the game, Makino came on, and there's only like 5 minutes left, so nothing to talk about there. And I think that's it. I will do another video for a preview, because it's late now. I can't be bothered doing it now, and I'll have to wait until the squad has been announced for the 3 upcoming qualifiers. I think from the team, I think he's got to cut out. He's going to cut out a few guys and add in the guys that were missing before, like Endo, Kono, Yoshida, and so on. And Mike Havener. But guys who will miss out, Takahashi, Hasegawa, probably Morimoto, because I'm not sure why he was subbed out, but I don't think he was injured, so yeah, I don't think he was injured, so that's really a bit disconcerting. Okay, no, yeah, he was just subbed out. So yeah, that'll be the end of it. Okay, see you in a few days or a week or so before they start. See ya.